For more support, this is the update at 8. A group of MPs are calling for targeted government support for festivals, as many have been cancelled this year. In Coventry and Warwickshire, the Warwick Folk Festival and Stratford River Festival have both been called off. The Public Accounts Committee says the DCMS should protect festivals against the risk of cancellation. Lyle Binon is from the Birmingham Music Coalition and says it's the workers who are most affected.
We're talking about people whose livelihoods are on the line here. We're talking about people who can't meet their mortgage payments. We're talking about experts and skilled technicians who work in lighting, who work in rigging, who work in sound. Now, the Cultural Recovery Fund has obviously underwritten and supported some organisations, but there are lots that have been denied financial support.
Well, Helen Bagnall is the founder of the Also Festival, which is going ahead, I'm delighted to say. Compton Verney in Warwickshire joins us this morning on BBC CWR. Good morning, Helen.
Oh, good morning, Phil. Yes, that's right, at Park Farm, Compton Verney. We are.
Congratulations on going ahead with that. How difficult a decision was that for you as a festival organiser to finally sort of press the green button and go, yeah, we're doing it?
We actually went ahead last year on a really scaled down version, and under huge constrictions. I think we worked with 9 local government agencies to really make sure it was done incredibly. So we have some confidence that we could go ahead this year. Obviously, it's more challenging working with so much uncertainty, throughout the year, because it takes 10 months incredible planning of a few really hard working people to make it look that easy, and it has to go ahead those 3 days. But I think the last year gave us confidence that we had the skills and the ability to really do it this year. Although there were moments.
No, I'm sure. It's interesting that you say there, because you took the plunge last year, you've effectively had a template from which to go at again, haven't you, for this year? And when you say there were moments, I don't know, give me one.
Well, I think the government really struggles to understand nuance in the business, and I think festivals are really, really hard to understand because so much of it, we really are an industry of the show must go on, and that's what we have to project. We can't show the workings behind it. That's the difficulty of it, and I understand why the government finds it so hard. But obviously, working with so many uncertainties, not knowing if we can go ahead, worry about regional variance, these all really, really feed into our difficulties, and every week we were having to meet and say, okay, well, what do we predict? What do the experts say? What's the government saying? What's the likely outcome? And that's incredibly stressful. It's stressful for the team. It's stressful on mental health. We are all working so agilely, but that takes an enormous amount of effort, as I'm sure anyone who's run a small business over the last year can really understand.
The government pointed to the 1.57 Culture Recovery Fund, 1.57 billions. I mean, even that, some people have argued, the festival industry shouldn't be treated as an exemption or qualify for specialist support. Give me some idea, Helen, how much the festival industry needs that support, and also how difficult it's been to access some of this Cultural Recovery Fund money.
Oh my goodness, that's a great question. I mean, festivals is an arts organisation, so I think it really raises questions of how much we want to support arts. It is a lot of money, and you don't want to say to other sectors that haven't been so well supported it isn't there. But I think there were a couple of issues. I mean, firstly, I think it is quite hard to access because the systems were in place were designed for other ways of accessing, so other ways of applying. So we did get some money in the first round, but that went entirely to people who wanted their money back. So there was no money at all to support us and the festivals we've done over the years, because we've done some digital festivals for people at home. We could have employed a lot of artists. We could have employed a lot of lighting, sound and engineers. We could have put that money back into the artists and people who are in the festivals, but we weren't successful in getting that. And the systems were very, very old school. They took a long time. We didn't find out until a couple of days before, so we had to underwrite it ourselves. And that again is incredibly stressful and means that we've all been working throughout the year without any chance of being paid really. For the bigger festivals, I think it's more difficult because they really do need insurance because their lead time to build is so much longer, and also because they cost so much to put on. So even if they don't get ahead, the costs that they will incur are huge. So the issue for them is for insurance. The issue for the smaller festivals is, can we survive? So there are different constraints and different difficulties in terms of how you're trying to access that money.
I'm just looking at also Festival Online, some of the acts you've got lined up for your event this year. Who would you like to sort of highlight as I mean, you've got music acts, you've got comedy, lots of food and drink suppliers, haven't you? Who do you think is the draw for you this year?
We have just an incredible lineup, and I think the idea for us is to give a chance for people to come together in a beautiful location by the lake, by the lake, to have a rum cocktail at the rum shop, to go and see comedy in the woods, to dance with other people socially distanced, and to hear from the experts, authors, and people who really give you information that you can get great ideas to take back into your life, and have incredible music content at night. So I think we pack a huge punch for a boutique festival. And it's going to be an absolutely brilliant, safe, wonderful weekend, and we really need it. Come and see us.
Best of luck with it, Helen. Good to speak to you this morning. Helen Bagnall, founder of the Also Festival, starts a week on Friday. Weather looks good for it, I've got to say. Into next week at Compton Verney in Park Farm, the 8th year of Also at Park Farm in Compton Verney in Warwickshire. We'll wish them the best of luck.
CWR Breakfast with Phil Upton.
BBC CWR.